How long did you work with Curtis? How many gigs did you do? Where did you play?
Now, when I was with Curtis, I only toured with him 7 years. He had his unfortunate accident in 1990. I started working with him in '83, and I started in the studio. He came out one night and heard a band that I was with, said, "Hey cats, y'all want to go to Europe?" I was like, "Let's do it." So we did countless tours all over the world. I would not trade any of that experience for anything. Not only do you get exposed to different cultures and things like that, you get exposed to different music wherever you go. The people, you find out how people are just the same. So, Curtis was basically very responsible for giving me more of a world view, and through playing with him and through, his music. And after his accident, obviously he didn't have any usage of his hands or anything. So he would call me up and go, I've got to do this song for Aretha. Would you come over and be my hands? And so I would have, I'd play piano, and I think we did I can't remember the name of the movie now, but there was something that India redid with Curtis, and I had to, help him out with that. And then recording that last album was very tough because he was in the hospital, a hospital bed, and you had to hang the mic over his head. And it was very sad, but it was also, it was inspiring to see that he still had something to say and wanted to say it. So Curtis, taught me, you just don't give up.
Wow, that's deep. So how did working with Curtis and all that worldview of touring and traveling and playing with them, how did you take some of those elements and apply those to the production studio world? When you're in your 30s and you're traveling, you have a lot more energy, and you go out every night. And so I'd go to clubs, and sometimes it would be house clubs, sometimes it would be jazz clubs. It didn't matter. But you're taking in all this music, and you're just taking in, they're playing the same notes, they're playing the same chords, they're even playing the same songs that you would hear here. But there's just that little bit of whatever comes with their culture that they bring to it. And there were certain times where I would, come in with a little, back in the day of cassettes, where I would have a little cassette recorder, and I'd hear like a street group or something, and go, that's really cool. And maybe what they did, I would incorporate into a piece of music. It may just be a very small piece, because you can't force something to work. You have to, you have to serve the music. The music is not serving you. I talk about that quite a bit. But a lot of these elements that you would pick up from traveling around the world, you would hear like drum beats that you don't hear here. You go to Europe and you're hearing techno music like nothing that you hear here. You might hear it 3 years from now. So I'd come back with a little bit of that and try and incorporate things. And sometimes it was successful, and sometimes, okay, it was a nice try, nice idea, but let's move on.